Today is October the 25th, 2018. And I'm standing here in Boston's, Back Bay Prudential Center area. Prudential Center's that way. And there's the lovely empty Marriott Hotel. And listen, all that come up. Okay, folks, here we have this terrible protest in front of the Marriott in Boston with cops and placards and lights on and oh wait, none. Zippo today. Okay. Now, lest you think that that's just because they've been putting the Marriott out of business, I point you to the Westin that has its one typical light beacon or light pylon on there. Otherwise, none. This thing's empty. This thing's empty, and the one next to it's empty. Isn't that great? How fucking stupid are these people? Now I'm about to go shopping at this lovely supermarket in the middle of all these empty buildings, and I bet I have to wait in line and get gas coincidentally. Yeah, and there's the empty Colonnade luxury apartment tower that was built over the course of a couple years while I was a bum, while everything was as empty looking as this is, and it doesn't have the lights on. I had more lights on, was under construction. Can't make this stuff up. Today, by the way, is West Panel Hall at my back. I'm downtown now. I'm at the Holocaust Memorial. Let me turn the camera around. I'll turn myself around. That's the monument. You can see that. They have steam coming out of the vents. And the wind is headed pretty much from my direction, past the rock and then toward those giant sails or whatever they're supposed to be. And you can see right behind me, we have a bunch of boxwoods. And they still have ricin coming out of them. I'm going to tell you, everyone who's exposed to this is treated worse than Susan Collins' dog, who at least got out of the stuff and into quarantine. Out here, man, it just blows around. And here's City Hall, right over here. Where the hell's Marty the mayor? And what on earth the Pocahontas and Ed Mackey want to do about it? I don't hear them talking neither. I think Charlie's going to be on the case. I hate to say it, so I'm not done. I'm back in Quincy. That's old City Hall behind me. That's the cemetery, the old cemetery with a lot of people in here from Quincy's historic 17th century and beyond past. Mostly 18th and 19th century people here. Place isn't too gassed right now. Sometimes it's pretty bad, but get enough wind, it blows through. It was a pretty rotten day, gas-wise, and the presentation was terrible. The buildings are just pathetic. I mean, they're always pathetic. I mean, people are walking around ignoring all reality, including the buildings as they look above the first floor, and also the nerve gas blowing around. Just some days a little bit worse than others. They even gassed the Esplanade today. Carmav they got, it was all set up. It's like everywhere I went was prearranged. One of the first places I want to go was Au Bon Pain by Neiman Marcus. Just go in there and go sit in the park, but they put some worky guy right upwind, the only upwind spot. He was there with an orange hose. I was out of there. It was one of those days. Thanks all, and the hell with all of you. Stay safe. And I forgot to note, they decided to play games on the early train today, pretending that the Andrews Station power switch was off or power generator was off. I don't know what it was. And they were not going to run the train through to where I was going. So I decided to get off anyway, once they announced there was no problem after I yelled at Balam for about 5 minutes across from me. What an idiot. And they fixed it. It was a miracle I could stay on the train, like I didn't know it was a setup. And I decided to get off anyway. I walked from JFK station over to Broadway station, went by the beach and down Broadway. It was a lot of fun.